and welcome everyone to our market outlook for the week of June 20th to 24th. Well, that's what we'll be looking at in the market today. It's been a while. I took a little bit of break from our weekly outlook to get our training program and everything well set. So here I am today to take you again through the market, and we'll see what's happening, what happened last week, how did the market close, and what are we looking at for this week. So welcome everyone. As you go on with me, if you have any question, you like what I am sharing with you, please let me know. Go down below the video, click on like, subscribe to this channel if you've not done so. Comments, ask me questions. If there are some instruments that you would like me to check subsequently that I'm not checking today in this video, let me know as well. So welcome. Let's go take a look at the market. I'm going to be sharing the screen with you, and we will start by taking a look at the economic calendar. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. What do we expect for this week? For this week, we have a lot that we're expecting, but let me filter so that we look at the one with high impact on the market and see how that may have some impact on what we're expecting. Today is Monday, 20th of June. United States, there's holiday there in the United States, so maybe we will not see some big movements from the United States today. But then tomorrow, what are we expecting? Okay, later today, we are also expecting President Lagarde's speech for the ECB, which can have effect on euro. That's later today, 2 p.m. GMT plus 1. The timing you're seeing showing on the screen is GMT time, and 2 p.m. GMT plus 1 is what we're expecting to see. Okay, now let's move on. What else do we expect for the week? We're expecting for the coming week, we're expecting to see for the coming days in the week, we're expecting to see something on Aussie tomorrow, RBA meeting minutes, Canadian dollar, USD, Canadian dollar, USD, and British pound on Wednesday. On Thursday, we are expecting German manufacturing PMI. PMI, we know, usually would have some impact on the market. It has to do with inflation. How is the inflation affecting the economy? What is the interest rate expected based on what we are seeing with inflation? What decision will the central bank make? What decision would how would the monetary policy decision be like, and how is it going to have effect on the currency? How is it going to have effect on the economy? All of this you can see. Good thing with this, I am looking at this economic calendar from xm.com. So if you would like to take a look at it, you could go to xm.com, go to Honda Research and Education. Okay, research and education, then click on economic calendar, and it's going to take you here. I also click on filter, and that's how I filtered. The one with triple is what is the one with high impact, and that's why I filtered for it to have high impact. Okay, to show the ones with higher level of impact. Okay, let me put my video here so that you can see as I am talking. All right, interesting. So let's move on. What else do we have on Friday? What are we expecting on Friday? Holidays here and there. New Zealand, we're expecting holidays. Sweden, Finland. Well, maybe you don't trade some exotic pair, so maybe New Zealand is what would really make some impact on how you're trading. That's on Friday. On Thursday, we're expecting inventory, crude oil inventory from the US, and initial jobless claim. Then for the euro, we're expecting EU leader summit. I think that will make some impact on euro, so we want to pay attention. It could also make impact on the British pound as well. So let's pay attention to it on Friday. New home sales, EU leader summit continues till Friday. So yes, a lot of activities setting up for the week. Now let's go to the chart and let's go take a look at what we're expecting for this week. I'm going to put it on the weekly time frame or even start from the monthly. Let's look at what dollar is doing. I'm starting from USD currency index. That's what I am looking at. This was a resistance that I had highlighted for quite some time. But what do we see? The current month is so already above this resistance. 2 months ago, we had a break, in April, we had a break above that. We had this engulfing bullish candle breaking above the resistance. Last month was more like a correction to that. And now it is continuing up, which is indicating the strength of dollar. However, in the local time, the recent time, we see that the price is trying to correct again. Let's move on now to the weekly and see how last week had closed. Last week closed a little bit with a little bit of wick above it, somewhere around this small resistance that is formed there. That's where last week closed. So I'm expecting to see some correction down. Dollar is all still bullish for me. If I am looking at it in the long term, dollar is bullish. But then what do we have? We have a little bit of correction happening now. So I'm expecting to see some correction, which could signify maybe earlier in this week or this week, we may see some level of correction. And how do we now trade dollar with other currencies if that is what we see? Let's go take a look at that with gold. I'm going to start with gold analysis. Gold, I am bearish on gold. Well, let's see the monthly for gold. The monthly, the whole trend is still bullish. It's still all up. We have this double top is what makes me bearish on gold. We would see we have this long pin bar, long wick above the candles for this point and this area, and it's been bearish since then. Let's say in the week. On the weekly, I like using the 50 moving average. So the black one is 50 moving average. The red one is 20 moving average, exponential. That's what I have on my chart. Now on the weekly, it's still below the averages. Dollar is trying to be a bit weak this week, but what are we seeing? Gold is not able to push past this level, despite the fact that dollar is a bit weak against some of the other currencies, like I have seen this morning. So if that happens, that means that if dollar gains some level of strength, it is possible that we see some big move to the downside. So I'm bearish on this. For a short term at least, I've been looking at this dropping down toward the resistance, toward the support, this week. So if that is going to happen, we may see some, how many pips down? Okay, that's some 293 pips there if it is going to drop down to this point. So yes, I'm bearish on this, and if I'm going to enter, I usually would go to lower time frame, maybe on the 4-hour, for instance, to go find an entry for myself. Okay, so that's basically that. I expect that it may go lower than that. So if it gets to the support, I would wait to see whether it's going to break to the bottom. If it breaks below it, then I go bearish. I continue bearish on it. But this is where I'm expecting that it is likely going to get to in the week. Let's see British Pound USD. For British Pound USD, what am I expecting? Sorry, I need to close. I'm on the free version of the trading view, and that's why you see some of the advert there. Okay, let's see. So I'm expecting this to pull back a little bit. The whole trend is down for British Pound USD, but how did last week candle close? It closed, the candle still looking bearish, but with a weak below it, a long wick below it. Usually if I see that kind of candle and then we are seeing something like looking like a double bottom there, what am I expecting? I'm expecting a continuation to the upside, maybe in the short term, but that's what I'm expecting for now. Bullish this week. For this week, I'm expecting to see some movement to the upside. So we have like this range here, which got broken to the bottom side. I'm expecting that this is likely going to move toward this upper part of the range before it comes down again. Maybe it's going to range for a while, or maybe that's just going to be some pullback before we see some continuation to the downside again. But I'm expecting to see some bullish movement this week in the market. Euro USD, let's take a look at that as well. Let's look at how last week closed. More like an indecision candle for Euro USD. We have more like indecision there. Okay, but with a long wick below, long wick above and below. So because it is more like an indecision, the bears could continue. The trend is down. Okay, let's see. The trend is down for this, but looking at it on the monthly as well, it's also forming the bottom. And so we may also see some movement to the upside. If I'm comparing Europe with British pound, I probably would go with British pound being a bit stronger than euro for now, based on what I am seeing on the chart. We may also want to look into the economy, see what is happening with euro and British pound, see what is happening with the USD, and then that can help us make decisions. But on this, last week candle was more like an indecision candle. We may see some continuation on this, but I'm more bullish on British pound USD than euro USD. So for euro USD, we'll see how it plays out. We may see some pullback. I'm expecting to see some pullback, even if there's going to be continuation to the downside with euro USD. Let's go on with NZD USD. NZD USD, I'm also expecting some pullback or bullishness for this week, and that's why earlier today I entered a long. I went long on this this one. Yes, it may not be for a very long time, but I'm expecting to see some movements to the upside on this. Okay, so this is it. It's on the lower time frame. I see some pullback, correction, and likely continuation. So for a short term, I'm expecting for the week, I'm expecting to see some bullishness, even if it's not going to last for a long time. And if that happens, maybe it can even come all the way toward this high. All right, that's where I'm expecting that it's going to get to first. But if that area get broken to the upside, then of course I'm expecting it goes all the way to around the 069. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting for now. 065 area, that's my expectation for the current week, if it is going to go long. Based on how we see the last week candle closing, looking bearish, but what do we see? We see that it closed with a longer wick below, more like an indecision candle as well, but there's a little bit of jump there that I'm expecting to have to get filled. And if that happens, maybe we see some movement up to this area, and that is going to be some good catch of pips if that is going to be covered over 175. So let's see. That is that on NZD USD, AUD USD. Let's see what that is also giving us. Last candle bearish, and with a wick below it as well around the support. I also expect to see some pullback on this. How about USD yen? USD yen is all bullish, but then I also think that this could pull back a little bit. On the monthly, if I'm looking at USD yen, I can see this inverted head and shoulders pattern. Let me try to draw that out with a tool here. So we have this big head and shoulders on the monthly. This got broken to the upside, all right? And we have a little bit of correction for last month. This month it's going up. Do I expect to see continuation or to see some pullback on this? Of course, I expect to see pullback. Currently, we are around a resistance, so I'm expecting to see pullback on this, and that would also support the small weakness we are expecting on USD for now. The small weakness we're expecting on USD for the week will also be supported if this pulls back a little bit. Okay, I am not too certain with yen. Yes, some monetary policies, there's different decisions being made to help bring up yen a little bit. And on checking the COC report earlier, I see that the big boys in the market, some of them are investing in yen, and if that happens, that means that yen could gain strength. If yen gains strength, then of course I would expect sell on this. I would expect this to go bearish. If this goes bearish, then I'll be expecting sell for the week. But if not, if I see a close above here, perhaps I will continue bullish on this. So that's my bias on that. Let's go look at USD-CHF. Yeah, for USD-CHF, we had some unexpected bullish news last week. Okay, some unexpected interest rate decision that moved CHF, which is Swiss franc, that made it really strong unexpectedly from last week. And in that case, what kind of movement would I be expecting with USD CHF? I'll be expecting to see some bearishness starting on this, and that's what we are seeing. This is monthly time frame. We're seeing 2 weeks above the resistance there. Forming like double top. You see double top forming on the weekly. Last week candle looks bearish, but it has a week above. With a week above, it looks bearish. So likely we may see some continuation this week. My bias on this remains bearish. Okay, let me make that bold, a little bold. All right, so my bias on this bearish. Expecting to see some bearishness on this, even if it's just for a meantime, but that's what I'm expecting. USD CHF, good one. If I am going to take any of them, I likely would prefer to go for that. USD South Africa rand, that's an exotic that I am also looking at. Bearishness is what I'm expecting for the week, maybe not for a long term. The bias is bullish. The movement is bullish on the weekly time frame, but last week close when it got to the resistance, it bounced back for last week. So maybe in the current week we may see some continuation to the downside. So identifying the resistance or the supply zone, and let's see what happens thereafter from there. Is that going to be broken back to the upside, or is this going to continue down? Let's see what happens this week. But I think if I'm going to make a decision, if I'm forced to make an entry decision now, I probably would be looking to go bearish on this, okay, until maybe there's a break above the resistance, and I'm going to make the resistance a zone. All right, so if there's a close above the resistance zone, then I could start buying. But for now, I would be bearish. I'll be looking to be bearish on this. Let's quickly look at some euro pairs as well. Euro AUD, what are we seeing? Let's look at last week candle, how it closed. Okay, last week candle closed bullish. Maybe this is going to remain bullish, but let's go look at the month as well and see how the month had closed last. More like an indecision, okay? It's also got to a support and it's been trying to push back up since then. So this week is going bullish. Sorry, this month is going bullish. Last week had been bullish, close above my trending moving average, moving back down. Looks like we have something looking like an inverted head and shoulders here. So what is my bias on this? I expect pullback and continuation to the upside. That's my bias on that. I am expecting to see some pullback and continuous movement to the upside. We also have that inverted head and shoulders showing on the daily. It got broken to the upside. All of this look more like correction for me, like a range, and in fact it looks like we're having another inverted head and shoulders forming. So a break above the highs would be an indication for me to want to go long. So if I see a break above the 1.522, I'm going to start looking to go long on this. Euro Canadian dollar, I'm looking the same way like what I saw with Euro AUD now. Let's look at last week how it closed. The major direction is down, but last week that closed bullish, really a bullish candle, a little bit of engulfing because it engulfed the one before it, and around the resistance, still pushing up. Bullishness for me in Euro Canadian dollar. Euro yen, what am I seeing? I'm also still seeing bullishness. For Euro yen, I would expect that this is likely going to continue up. Looking at the kind of candle that closed last week, it's bullish for me. Yes, we may see some pullback, but the bias remains bullish for me. Who has the Canadian dollar? I think we didn't get to check that. USD Canadian dollar, last week candle closed bullish. Currently, it is trying to come down. So what do I expect? I'm expecting to still pull back and continuation. We're expecting to see some small level of weakness based on our analysis with USD. So that may be the correction we would see. So pull back, continuation. That's what I'm expecting. Oil, let's take a look at oil. Oil got to a level of resistance, got to the 120 area, went a little bit above it, and then last week candle closed with an engulfing bearish candle. So right now, what am I expecting? I want to see pullback and continuation as well to the downside, at least for the week to the downside. The major direction is what? Still to the upside. What else do I want to look at? I have a lot of pairs that I used to look at, but I want to keep the video as short as possible. So I'm going to just check a little few more currency pairs, and then I would expect that you tell me what you want to see more in my weekly analysis, because yes, we are changing the face of our academy and making it all more helpful for you to help you as much as possible to trade better every single week in the market. So if there are currency pairs, instruments, maybe cryptocurrencies or whatever that you would like us to take a look at together, I would be more than willing to check them with you and take a look at them with you as well. Euro NZD, I am bearish on this. I have a bearish trade on this. This had closed above my 50 moving average last week, but with long week above it, I'm expecting some bearishness. It may not be for a long time, but that's what I'm expecting. I'm currently bearish on this since last week Friday. I had the sale of that, and my expected take profit is just somewhere around here. I think somewhere around there. Okay, so if it gets there, I could take it out. Then if that place gets broken, then I'll continue holding it down with it. So bearish for me is the bias for Euro NZD for the week. Let's take a look at Euro British pound. Now for Euro British pound, I got bullish at some point and I was able to make some profit with this one. It got me my take profit because this last high was where I had set my profit. Take me and then begin to come back down again. Now, with the kind of candle that closed last week, I'm expecting that we may see some pullback this week. My bias is still bullish on this, but I feel that we may see some pullback, which may make British pound a bit stronger than euro for the meantime. But now, what are we seeing? We are seeing some bullishness for today, but I feel that it may continue down afterward. Let's quickly take a look at some British pound pair as well. British pound AUD, how the last close? It closed bullish, but still inside this bar. This engulfing bearish candle, all last week and 2 weeks ago candle, they remain inside of the bar. So maybe we're going to remain inside of the bar for a while. So this is bearish this week, for today, sorry. Is it going to continue bearish? It is possible. If it's going to continue bearish, maybe it covers this small jump we have around here and come all the way down here. So that's what I'm saying. It looks bearish, but it could also change direction, but more like inside of the range, and that should help us either wait or trade it. If I'm going to trade it, forced to trade it now, I would rather look to go bearish at this for the time being. But if it pulls back and go closes above this area, the 1.762, if I see a close above the 1.762 area, I'll start looking to buy. For now, I'm going to remain bearish at this. That is British pound, Aussie dollar. British pound, Canadian dollar, let's take a look at that as well. Looking bullish with the way last candle are closed. It got to the support, pushed back down a little bit, but it couldn't be sustained, and we have a big push back to the upside with the body closing above. So if I'm going to look at doing a trade with this, I'll be expecting to see some buy to the upside. So I'm going to pay attention to that as well during this week to find a trade for myself. This, well, still looking bullish as well. British yen, if yen becomes strong like we've been expecting, then I would expect to see some continuation here. So we pay attention to what happens with yen as from the beginning of this week, so we can see some movement down from there. Well, that's what I'm expecting. This is how much I would be able to cover for today. If you have other instruments that you would like me to analyze with you, do well to put that in the comment section. Also, if you're not on my Telegram channel, please try to find a way to join it. Look at the detail or the narration below the video on YouTube here, and make sure that you find where I have the Telegram channel and join us in there, because a lot is going to be happening soon in the channel. Also on this YouTube channel, if you have not followed this channel, you've not subscribed to this channel, you want to, because a lot of freebies are coming in for you. You're going to be learning a lot. We're here for free. So yes, do not miss this opportunity. Thank you, and have a beautiful week. You want to learn how to trade, you know what to do. My WhatsApp number is right below the video as well. Click on it, chat me up. I'm more than willing to hold you by the hands and work with you every step of the way. Are you looking for a broker that you can trust to trade with and learn from trading experts from different parts of the world for free? XM is where you want to go. So below the video as well, I have put a link to where you can register your live account with XM, register the live account, and enjoy free session with me, as I am one of the trading experts with XM, where I come up live as a professional trader and trading instructor as well. So you could go to the site and go read my profile there. I'm more than willing to help you, work with you. So please join us right there in the community of traders. Thank you, and have a beautiful day ahead of you and beautiful week. Take care.